The algorithm, so one of the secret, we call it our secret sauce, is the recommendation engine. So when you pull up in your feed or what's next, what is next? What you would get would be different than me. And there are thousands of signals. And this is all through machine learning as to what the signals are to the content that you enjoy. And, for different individuals, they will have different signals, and that's part of, the recommendation engine. We're optimizing for what's satisfaction for that viewer. We're also producing a lot of tools. So, we talked about shorts. It's really important that all people can have access to creative tools. So imagine I have great ideas, but I'm not an illustrator. And that happens a lot. A lot of people have great ideas, not the skills. So we launched a tool called Dream Screen, and in the shorts camera. So you can do text to image. So let's say I type in a dragon flying over Rio in the clouds, and that will render as a backdrop, and you and I could shoot a video with that as our backdrop. And it's been hugely successful because anyone could use it. My mother could use it. And that really will democratize creativity and innovation. The dubbing feature I talked about, that is AI generated. We're spending a lot of time with the music industry to look at how do we work with artists to help their control of their content and to ultimately monetize AI-produced music so that they can ultimately be able to try new things and experiment with beats and with sounds and instruments. And all of that's going to be possible, but we have to work very carefully on controls and attribution and monetization.
And about the rules, because the use of AI needs also new rules. What kind of new rules YouTube are thinking to put in practice, thinking about AI?
Yes, so it's really important from a viewer perspective. We believe that viewers understand the source of the content they're looking at. So we've just introduced labels so that if you're looking at synthetically produced content, the creator has to post that with a label. So it's really important that there's transparency when something is synthetically produced. We also just announced privacy tools. We want to make sure that we're respecting privacy, image and likeness. So you should be able to take down, likeness that is AI generated. And we're also looking at the same tools for singing voice as an example. So we will have to work very closely on protections. We have a very clear set of community guidelines that are published. And having AI-generated content or enhanced content, we have to be incredibly, vigilant that we find detection systems and have detection systems to follow those community guidelines.
What kind of AI are created to detect this kind of thing?
We do a lot of recognition systems now. Fake information, misinformation. We can now tell already synthetically generated videos. So all of this is possible today.
Okay. In the presentation, I mentioned that in the last 5 years, YouTube Music and YouTube Premium had more than 100 million of subscribers.
Yes.
I'd like to understand what kind of things and initiatives are you doing to improve the number of subscriptions?
Yeah, the subscription business is really an important business. It's important to the music industry, and it's an important source of revenue for us as well. And we're always looking at new features like co-viewing or co-listening in music and premium, and adding features like playlists and song lists and trending. There's a whole variety, music lovers love. And a lot of it is market expansion. So we will continue to expand markets in Asia Pacific and looking at new price points as an example. So there's a whole variety of ways we can continue to increase the value for money to have a great experience.
Thinking about this number of subscribers, do you believe this rise of subscribers have an impact for the creators? Creators are doing something different.
Yeah, no, that's a really important question, because sometimes people wonder, where does the money go in subscriptions? So our creators have a percentage of that subscription revenue as well. So for music and premium, we pay the music partners and we pay the creators. So we're happy if we're selling subscriptions or if you have an ads experience. It's really what the viewer's choice is. We want to make sure that we offer free access to everybody, and if you prefer a subscription, that's good for the creators and artists as well.
The idea is to have all of people using subscriptions in the future?
No, and really choice. Choice is what's important, and we're agnostic.
Okay. Talking about Brazil, I'd like to know why YouTube chose Brazil to host the pilot of the Impact Creators program.
Yeah, so one of the things that's really important is, we talked about the creator ecosystem and the creator economy. When we distribute money out into the ecosystem and we pay creators, it's very important to us that we have new creators coming onto the platform and creators, we call creators making it, right? Able to sustain their livelihood. And one of the things we spend a lot of time with governments around the world is so that they understand this is really an economy that sits outside corporations. It is a group of independent creators, and our revenue sharing with the creative community funds a whole variety of economic activity. The Creators for Impact helps tell that story. Sometimes when there's not a corporation to represent a body of employees, it's important to have those individuals be able to tell the story. So Creators for Impact is a way to gather creators together, creates a community, and it allows them to tell the story about how YouTube has helped them build businesses and reach new audiences.
Who are these creators that was chosen to take part of this program in Brazil? What characteristics they have?
Yeah, the local team spent a lot of time looking at creators across all the states in Brazil. Spent a lot of time screening for diversity, looking at different formats they use, different genres, to make sure that there was broad representation. And it's really an incredible program. We met last night, and there are many in town here. And it's wonderful to hear their voices, because what the platform means to them, I talked about one of the individuals, it's created some economic freedom. It's created opportunity. Some people have really powerful stories to tell, and we want to make sure they have a platform and a forum to do that.
Okay, and what else are you preparing for Brazil, considering the position of Brazil in YouTube?
Yes, so what else specific with the Creators for Impact? Or just other initiatives? Yes, other initiatives. So we are spending a lot of time, Brazil is a market that we pursue a lot of innovation in, because we talked about the live streaming of the Olympics, we talked about multi-view. There is a very, very significant artist community here, a very vibrant local music scene, and we spend a lot of time, we're actually working on funding a songwriters camp. We pull together the songwriting community, the publishing community, and there's a lot of investment saying it's a sister creative community, but equally as important. So there are lots of initiatives to support that community as well.
And talking about that will arrive in Brazil or for all of the countries.
So there are lots of things that are common across markets around the world. Thriving creator systems, thriving artistry, but very different environments of partners. We work a lot with local broadcasters and local publishers. And, responsibility. We haven't talked about responsibility a lot. And, we need to make sure that if we're giving everyone a voice, we're able to prevent misinformation and to, we spend a lot of time raising authoritative voices. We will have shelves in each market to raise authoritative health sources as an example, so that when you're on YouTube, you will see a health source that is known and vetted and verified as an example. Same with children's content, kids platform. We have a special and separate kids platform because we have very different guidelines on content. We have, a timer, so you as a parent could actually control the time that your child has access to the platform. These are, we call them responsibility verticals, but news, civics or elections, kids content, learning, really important areas, and every country has different regulations around these, so we have to be really, have a very local team to honor all the local regulations.
You mentioned the misinformation, and we have a huge problem of fake news, not only in Brazil, of course, it's all over the world. For example, now, during this tragedy that was happening in Rio Grande do Sul, a lot of people was earning money in YouTube spreading fake news. And will be an election this year in Brazil and also United States. I'd like to know if what YouTube are preparing to avoid this kind of thing, and mainly what YouTube are doing for these people not to earn money spreading fake news.
Absolutely. So we talked a little bit about, raising authoritative content and removing violative content. More than 50% of the world is voting in democratic elections this year. So we've had many of those elections around the world. We have whole teams who handle civics and elections. We don't allow political advertising. And we have very clear guidelines. We talked about the labeling for synthetic content, removing misinformation if it violates policies. So it's an area we have very dedicated teams by vertical, so there's a lot of expertise. And we work very closely with the government in a market to make sure that they feel like we're there and we're good partners to be able to ensure free and safe elections.
Okay. There is some partnership that YouTube are preparing to avoid fake news in Brazil and in other countries.
So we talked about verifying sources and raising authoritative content, and then removing things that violate in our community guidelines.